Yo, what's going on, guys? Ron here, aka Neos, and I apologize for the hiatus, guys. I've been gone for a little bit, but as you can see, I moved, new environment, stuff like that. But anyways, guys, I appreciate y'all patience. I really do apologize. Like I said, I wish I could have said something, but everything kind of happened really fast. So anyways, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get right into the video. But before we do, if y'all would like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell down below. That way you know when I post more content. It really does help out. And let's get right into it. So, as you can tell by the title, guys, we're talking about Striker Mitsu. This is a very powerful engine. They pair with each other fairly well, I believe. Being able to facilitate being able to like break boards, go first and go second. Have a kind of like a resource loop kind of thing going on. It's all very strong. So, let's go ahead and go over it, and we'll talk about it. So, for the Striker engine, we're playing 3 Ray, 1 Rose, 1 Reinforcements, 3 Engage, 2 Widow Anchor, 1 Drones, 1 Cannon, 3 Linkage, and then the Limes Gate. So, this is the version that I have been playing. I prefer this version because it has like a significant amount of draw power. Like you have this can draw 1, this draws you 1, this draws you 2. Along with pairing it with very powerful quick play spells. For example, like Linkage is very powerful, being able to dodge Interruption. Droplet is the same thing. Virtuous can do the same thing. Looping itself as well. Lots of power here. Going first, going second, this deck does great. You also have access to like MST if you want. You know, there's just infinite stuff here. Onto the Mitsurugi stuff. As you can see here, we have 1 Habakiri, 1 Murakumo, 1 Saju, 1 Ritual Spell, 1 Mirror, 3 Pre-Prep, and then 3 Prayers. If you want a main deck to track, you can. You could definitely make space in here somehow, some way. I don't know exactly how. You could probably just play 41 if you wanted to. That would be perfectly fine. I just like playing all these quick play spells because, you know, Visions is a broken card. But anyways, yeah, that's about it. The non-engine is the 3 Visions with the 1 Mystical Space Typhoon, which you don't need to play. I just put this in here because it's kind of nice. You can just kind of, you know, throw it in. It's certain matchups, it's really good. Against VS, being able to just pop field spells, actually really strong. Yeah, it's all really good. And then Upstart Goblin as well. You know, draw 1 for free. This deck can kill pretty easily, and if you don't, your resources will kill them anyways. Droplet, and then, you know, like I said, Fallen the Virtuous here, all very strong. Yeah, this is the version, like I said, I've been testing and playing with. It's very strong. I have my sibling, my little brother. He's been playing a version similar to this as well, and just cooking with it. So, I want to do move on to the extra deck, and then we'll talk about the cards that are in the side, just to, you know, kind of, you know, hit all our bases, basically, right? So here we have Striker Ace 0. You have to play more than one of this card. It's a great interruption, being able to pop stuff. It gives you access to Exciton Knight, being able to summon Rays and Rose. It just does everything that you need, right? And then we have Camellia. Camellia just says make 2 monsters go either full Yummy combo, or in this case, full Striker combo, right? Being able to access, you know, stuff like... you know, if you have Striker stuff in grave already, or if not, you can dump stuff, and then you go ahead and you make Kagari add back, and then you know, activate Engage, you draw cards, usually, like, really good. And then we also have Engage 0. This is basically you can only summon this card once per turn, cannot be used as link material. If this card is special summon, you can target a monster on the field with 2,500 more attack, negates effect until the end of this turn. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacks while you have a Sky Striker Ray and Rose in your graveyard, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. So basically, you just go battle phase, poke, and everything goes boom. It's basically another Murakumo, but this one has to make battle phase. So, we have Amatsu. This is just a monster negate. We have Hayate. This is how you can, like, kind of force your way into, like, getting stuff into the graveyard. For example, like Engage during the battle phase. That way you can, you know, Kagari add back and do all your stuff in the main phase too, setting up like Mitsu and stuff like that. Shizuku, just being able to add stuff in the end phase if you absolutely need to. Also, just having another name is good. So, and then this is all generic stuff. We have 1 SP, 1 IP, 1 Gorgon, Exciton, and then the 2 targets for your Fallen the Virtuous stuff. So, all really powerful stuff here. like I said, a lot of draw power in this engine as well. So you're basically facilitating, like, if you open up Mitsurugi stuff, it can hard bridge. But if you open up Sky Striker stuff, you're gonna try to draw a bunch of cards and soft bridge, basically, is what I would call it, because you're trying to draw into something like one of these, right? If you draw like Ritual Spell and Saji, you should be like normal Saji, get prayers, add Murakumo and summon it. So, like, there's a lot of stuff you can do. I would prefer to play the bigger Mitsurugi package, but to do that, you cannot play 40 cards. As I am a huge fan of playing 40 cards, shout out to the DB Grinder, you gotta live to see it, right? But if you're playing the full Mitsu package, where you're playing like Habakuri, Murakumo, Futsu, Aramasa, or even if you're not playing Aramasa and you're just playing like Kusanagi, Saji, there's just too many garnets at that point, right? There's too many cards that need something else to operate that it's just not good enough. So you need to play like 50 or 60. You might as well just play Yummy, the Yummy version at 60, right? So, which I can actually like give you like a general breakdown of, right? So Yummy, right? Pretty self-explanatory. You can just play like the Mignon. You play 3 Marshmallow, 3 Cupsy, at least one of each of these names. Because you just need the names, to be honest. At this point, you cut the Dynamundo because you don't need that card anymore. And then you can cut the Exciton because, like, you really don't need the Exciton at this point. And then another card that you could probably cut is the IP. That way you can just fit your Synchros in here. There you go. And then obviously you need to play the Surprise. And then, you also need Snatchy. So what's another card we should probably cut? Probably you don't play Shizuku. You don't play Hayate. You can play this. So, like, if you want to, like, mess around with it, right? Like, there's a lot of options here. I'm trying to make this as best as I can. Let's see here. You play the Snatchy, because I think you need Karibo. The Link Karibo, specifically. Where is Link Karibo? I know he's here somewhere. There he is. One Link Karibo. Just as like an extra name is just good. And see, this puts you at 50. Like, you could just play this, right? And now you have, like, you can drown out some of the bricks, right? Mitsu stuff. You can play the Futsu now with this, and like maybe an Aramasa, but honestly you don't need to. You just play these two, and then you could main deck the Trap at this point, right? And then now you have like full engine for everything, and then now you're at 53. Play like 3 Thrusts, right? Thrust is a good card. If it'll let me add it. At this point you could play the 3 Fua. Just as, like, you draw it or you don't, it doesn't matter, and then there you go. There you go. There's 60 cards. Merry Christmas, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, there's plenty of options that you can do, right? This is like a 60-card version, right? And you can play the Yummy stuff and have all the layered interruptions and still trying to draw a bunch of stuff, right? And it's crazy, so. Here, go ahead and go back to this. Oh, it didn't. Okay, it's saved for some reason. That's kind of unfortunate. If you want to look at the other list, I guess we can go back in the video, but this is mainly what I wanted to talk about and stuff like that, because like this, like as you can see, this deck is incredibly flexible, right? You can play 40, you can play 60, you can play in the middle at play 50, right? I'll go ahead and see if I can just clear this stuff out for y'all and put it back to the way I had it. I just removed a card. Well, it was MST. Put the MST back in the deck. Go ahead and do this. But like as you guys can see, right? There's a lot of options that you can do to play anywhere between, like I said, 40, 60. If you want to play Yummy, you don't want to play Yummy. You want to play bigger Mitsu engine, right? Like even just playing like the bigger Mitsu engine, right? If you want to play more Mitsus, and like I said, you want to play the 50 cards, right? You can play this. We said this, right? You can main deck the Trap card. We have Thrust. I put in Thrust. There we go. Thrust. And then I also had Fuelos, right? Because Fuelos is just a broken card. Like, you can just get away with putting this card in your deck because it's going to give you value no matter what. You can either like pitch it as a discard or whatever, right? So here's this, and then talent was the other card. There we go. And like I said, I'll put the striker stuff back in here. But it's just, there's just like infinite possibilities of stuff that you can do, because like you're just allowed to play around so many things that is just incredibly powerful. You also have like Azalea, which is like 2 light and or dark monsters. You must summon this, you target a card on the field and blow it up. And then if you have 3 or less spells in your graveyard, I think it's send this card to the graveyard. Yeah, send this card to the graveyard. So yeah, like, you know, you just have, like I said, just infinite amounting stuff to, you know, whatever you want to do with the deck. It just gives you infinite, right? It gives you infinite basically. But anyways, onto the side deck, I do want to talk about here. We have like Duster, Gate, Geki, Blossom, Thrust, Fua, Talent, Purification, and Ash, right? So you could side deck these cards if you wanted to. This deck really doesn't play into like Molcharmies if you don't want it to. The Yummy version does, right? So I would recommend playing the Ash Blossom at that point, just to be in case you draw it right and you're like Fulos, and you're like, haha, Ash, right? You know, that's pretty good. But yeah, guys, it's just, this deck is incredibly unfair as well, which is also just, you know, another thing that's really good about it. It just has a lot of gas, a lot of stuff that you can get away with, because it just keeps you in the game, right? Especially drawing cards. It draws so many cards that you just get to like continue to play sometimes when you probably shouldn't, right? Just facilitating that hand advantage. The only thing that this deck loses to is Droll, which that might sound familiar. White Forest has the same issue, right? You can play through like Imperm, Valor, Ash, you know, even like under Fua, right? White Forest can play under Fua. They just do all the Diabell Star stuff. This deck does the same thing, but it dies to Droll, right? Because you want to draw cards. So here I do want to just kind of like showcase like a kind of like testing hands, right? So you all can see kind of how dumb this deck is, right? The only thing is that you do have to worry about, right, is that if you're going second, you just have to let your opponent like do whatever. But you can just choose to go second, right? You can make a going second version of this deck and be like, if you win the dice roll, guess what, opponent? You're going first. Or if you lose the dice roll, your opponent's going to probably go first anyways. So like here, right, we have pre-prep, this, engage, and everything else, right? So this is like a case where like you can go like and just fill your graveyard with stuff. Even like the Mystical Space Typhoon here, you can just chain to pop your own card if you wanted to. This is also good against like Draco Tail, right? Being able to dodge flame and stuff, pretty strong, and whatnot. But here, I'll just go ahead and like, you know, showcase this where you can just kind of like fill your graveyard with spells first, and then you can do like activate engage, right? So here, go ahead, summon Saji, tribute Saji, Saji effect. You can grab yourself the ritual spell. This is where you go like summon from deck because, you know, your opponents should have already, you know, ashed you and whatnot, right? So you go ritual summon, summon from deck because you want this guy properly summoned. So you go ahead and do this. Here you go ahead and, you know, this activates this. You grab prayers. This is like where, you know, having the trap would be really good, but, you know, it's whatever, right? You go trade space, boom. Effect, add this special, like, look, we have all I had 2 prayers, now I have 3 prayers in my hand, right? So now I'm like, you know, I have like infinite advantage off of this, right? Here, you know, you can go, for example, just like you already have like 3 spells in graveyard, and this is where you can just go like, you make Camellia, right? And then here, if you have yeah, let's see. It's pretty sure. Yeah, 3 or less spells, you can send a striker, right? So like here, right, you can just go like summon Camellia, and then right, and then you can go Camellia, dump, you know, whatever you want, right? Like you could dump Gate if you wanted to, because you already have Engage, but you can dump another Engage if you wanted to. You could dump probably here. You probably dump like What's a good dump here? You could dump Rose. Like Rose is a decent dump. But you probably want to like add something back, right? So, I don't know, to be honest here. Like, there's just a lot of options. Because you don't really want to draw a Rose. You want her in the graveyard. Yeah, opponent's card effect. We'll just dump Rose, right? Like, it's fine. Like I said, we're not really doing anything here. We'll go ahead, activate engage. Engage, grab. We could grab Ray. We don't really need to. We'll just grab this, for example, right? And then we'll draw a card. Cool. We drew engage. Perfect. Activate engage. Woo! Grab linkage, right? Draw a card. Draw pre-prep, sure. And then you just like I said, you're just gonna draw infinite. That's all you're gonna do. You're gonna go Kagari, add back engage. Right, and you still have full Mitsu stuff, right? So now you just, you go activate engage for the third time. Now you grab this. You draw a card. Cool, we drew drones. Activate drones. Alright, summon token. Right, and then here you can make zero. Like zero is probably a good thing to make here. Zero, this one you can add, right? I'm pretty sure, yeah. Here, add, we'll add this to hand, right? Like you could add engage, but it doesn't matter. And then now you just go like, here you can just activate this to special summon, like special Murakumo, boom. There you go. You special Murakumo. Here you can just set, this, set anchor, set shark cannon, set prayers. Like we have too many things to set. We have too many things to set. Here, set mystical space typhoon. Like, and we still have 4 cards in our hand, right? We have pre-prep, which is we're going to be able to shuffle back the mirror, which means we're going to be able to use pre-prep next turn to add a Mitsurugi card back to our hand from the graveyard because it can add a monster. So even if they out everything, we can like activate prep, right? Go ahead and get back mirror, add Habakiri to hand, re-ritual summon, and it's fine. We're gonna also, if you look at our deck, we have 20 cards left in our deck because we drew a bunch of cards. Like it's insane. Like here, like look, draw card, full combo. This is full combo. Additional draw card, negate, just like going second, negate, dodge targeting, also a negate. Like what do we draw here? We drew space typhoon. That's fine, right? Like, it's just like no matter what, you're just gonna have some like here, right? You have 4 quick play spells and draw 2, right? So you just go like here, draw 2 cards. Look at that. We drew pre-prep and we have an extra linkage. Discard it. Like the deck basically plays itself. It does everything for you basically, right? It's pretty self-explanatory. You get to play like dumb power spells and everything else. It's insane. So I just wanted to bring this deck to y'all. I know that it's been covered a lot, and I wanted to, but I wanted to explain it as well, and put some extra information out there as long as I can. And I basically gave y'all like 3 deck profiles as well. So I really do hope that y'all enjoyed that. That's gonna be the end of the video. Anyways, guys, again, I hope you did enjoy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell down below. That way you know when I post more content. And I will catch y'all guys in the next video. Peace.